before we even get into like all the other nitty gritty, I want to know, how did you even get into music in the beginning?
Well, when I was a little kid, my mom used to like have us do impersonations. So I love and doing impersonations and stuff. And so I was doing like Elvis when I was a little kid, and George Jones and Hank Williams, and so it was my dream to do music. Right, like I always wanted to do music, but it wasn't like I would ever thought about writing my own music. It was like
Hmm.
being these other artists, right? Being Elvis. That was like I always wanted to be Elvis, right? And Waylon and all them. Like I literally was doing, and I think back now on the impersonations I was doing when I was a little kid, and I'm like, there's no telling how bad they were, but to me in my head, they sounded exactly right. They sounded exactly like what what the artist sounded like. So, but then I started doing rock against child abuse. Met this family with this little girl named Kyla Davenport
Okay.
that she had been beaten by her stepdad and she was still alive. So she was a paraplegic. And
Oh man.
uh, I ended up coloring. I found out she was going to die. We knew kind of that she was going to die, right? And lose her life. I hear a train.
Yeah, it's not far from me.
We I decided on my own to color my hair pink because her favorite color was pink. So everything, you never saw a little girl without like pink in her hair, pink outfit on, or pink anything. Like she always had pink on. So I decided to color my hair pink for her before she died, so she knew that I colored it. So that started Rock Against Child Abuse, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do. Like, it was too hard in Nashville to be a country artist in my mind. It was actually just
Mm.
backwards. But in my mind, the way of thinking, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a an artist. I want to do music. So if I'm gonna do it, there's no way to do country because there's too many country artists here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna do rock. I already got pink hair, so I'm gonna just start being this alter ego that's like this clown. And behind it, the meaning behind it was behind white face paint, we're all the same race. We're all the same religion. We're all the same. We're one, right? We're not, there's no one that's poor, no one that's rich. We're all the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I painted myself white for that purpose and was just like, pushing hard to change child abuse laws. We started the Kyla Davenport Foundation, and the man that took Kyla's life only got 7 years in prison. So,
What?
so the child abuse law in North Carolina was so poor that it became my life mission. I mean, somebody that grew up like I did, very poor, and my mom was a battered wife for 18 years. It was a big mission for me to fight for abused children and fight for abused women and try to make a difference in my own way. So I wasn't really caring at this point in time. I didn't even really think about making it music. I lost the passion for making it music because I was just doing like a character, right?
Mm.
It was kind of like Marilyn Manson almost. It was just a character on stage. It was not enjoyable. The music side of it wasn't. It was very depressing because you're dealing with children that's lost their life and you're trying to raise money for the families or a kid that's lost their feeling in their legs. So it's or their arms or whatever. So you're not doing music for a fun reason, right? 100% of my proceeds went to abused children, and the benefits at my concerts they were all benefits. They weren't just concerts where girls would get fixed up and go out and party. It was for a benefit, for a reason, right?
No.
So it was no fun in music at all. Like I did not enjoy a second of my music career in rock. Not 1 second did I enjoy it. So I was
Can't
like,
blame
man, when I got tired of it, I was like, you know what? I want to go back to my roots because I'm country. You know what I mean? I lived on a dirt floor till I was up in my years and mostly dirt floor and didn't go to school, dropped out in the first grade. I didn't learn to read till I was 21 or
you. Okay.
22 right there. So I was 100% literate at 22. And so I was like, I want to go back to my roots. And I started doing country. So I had a country album and a rock album, 10 songs on both. And I released them both the same day. Well, my
Okay.
country song got picked up by CMT. My video did. This was like 7 years ago.
Mm.
And part of the stipulation from the marketing team was that they thought it was a bad idea for me to promote the rock album the same time that they were trying to promote my country song, right? So
Okay.
I never told anybody about that country album. It's out right now. under the Lonely Clown Band. And I never told anybody about it. We didn't promote it. We let it go right then. So it's pretty much a waste. But I started doing country, and I've told the story quite a few times, but my country career, I guess you'd say, or it wasn't really a career. It was kind of just a flop, because it was kind of like I was trying to get my rock fans to come over to country with me, if that makes sense, right? And they weren't buying it, because they knew one or the other was not authentic, right? And it was the rock. They knew that something was up. So I started doing my country, loved it because it was me and felt natural. And then my country started going into like a weird bro country kind of feel, like bonfire kind of songs. And I wasn't happy with that, man. I decided to get out of music. I was like, I'm done. I don't have no interest in doing music anymore. It's over. And I was literally going down the road. And like I said, I've told this story so many times that it's crazy, but I was going down the road, had it on a playlist for Colt Ford, like on Spotify, and Hillbilly Come On by Church. And I'll never forget it, man. It changed my life. It changed how I looked at music. I had never heard country rap before. And maybe I'm like in a hole somewhere living, but I'd never heard of country rap. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know it was a thing. And when I heard Church perform, like do that song, it was like, man, it was the first time that I'd actually heard music that I was proud of, or like it's weird to say you're proud of it, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like music that you felt like you could relate to, right? And it was my first time of relating to music and feeling like it was part of me, and something like, it's almost like you didn't know someone was writing a life story about you, and then all of a sudden you find out about this life story that's been written, this movie's been written about you.
Damn.
So
like
it was like, yeah, it was connected to me. That's it, right there. And it was weird because I'd not connected to it. I loved Coolio. So I loved, like, Coolio was like one of my idols back then. Like,
I ain't mad at Coolio.
My first album I ever had was Coolio. So I love rap and I love Waylon, right? And this was, Hillbilly was like, if you took Coolio and you took Waylon, you put them together and made music, right? And that's what, in my mind, that's how I looked at it. So the next day, I went and wrote my Moonshine Hill song, which is my biggest song ever. I went and wrote that song the next day, and I was like, it wasn't like, I told Church this whole story myself, and like I was telling him, I was like, it wasn't like I was wanting to copy him in any way, right? It was like I wanted to see if I could create something that felt real, that was authentic, right?
Right.
Because so far at this point in time, I just created a bunch of music, and 90% of it was not authentic. It was like throwing pasta at a wall and seeing if something sticks,
Right. With like experimenting.
Yeah, we just experiment with music, man. It was weird. It was like I was just hungry to do music so bad that I was willing to create. I mean, if I could have created opera music, I would have created opera. Like, I would have tried to sing it. It would not have sounded good because I can't sing opera. But
you would have tried.
I would have done anything I could to find out if I could throw some pasta to the wall and see if it would stick. I would just do it, right? So that's how I started in music, man. And like, so 4 years ago, I started doing some country rap and country, and just my first country rap song ever was 4 years ago, and I loved it, man. I started pushing it.
And you go back and forth between country rap and just the country singing as well, right?
Yeah. Now that I'm that's what I was going to say next. Now that I'm comfortable where I'm at, and now that I feel like I have a home, if I guess you say, my music is rooted where I feel comfortable at, saying that it's honest, right? So now I'm good with doing rock. Now I'm good with doing rap. Now I'm good with doing country. Like, now that I feel comfortable and I know who I am in my art, I feel like other things can spin off of that, right? There's always a flair of my country music, of my country rap. So it's somewhat created like a backbone for me, So
skeleton for you.
Yeah, it did. And so I've got rock coming out. I've got a hard, heavy metal rock song that's coming out in like a couple weeks. I've got straight up 90s style country out, like just straight up 90s style. And then I've got a country a rap album coming out in like a month from now. That's just straight up rap.
Right.
So it's like, I just look at music differently, man. It's like, and I don't know a lot of these, the world that we're in right now, and country rap, and the world that we're in with music in general. I don't know the world that we're in, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a father and I work 60 hours a week and a husband. So I don't really know until people bring it to my attention the mess we're in when it comes to YouTube and online. Right. I'm not real sure of it until I see it, and then someone will share it and I'll be like, golly, you mean this crazy person thinks like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I had no idea that people think like some of the things that they think of, So
Facts.
me, I'm just in my own little weird circle, right? And of music. And I'm just creating music to be creating music. I ain't creating music to be famous. I've got some goals behind myself that I would like to pursue. I want to open for someone else someday. I've never got to open for somebody, and I want to open for a bigger artist someday. And that's a big goal for me for this year or next year, to be able to check that off of a bucket list kind of thing. So I look at my music as kind of like a bucket list. It's like my own personal journeys that I want to go through music. But to some people, it may not be making it, but to me, it is making it. So
You know, wrong with that. When you put out your music, it's all you, like you're putting out everything yourself.
yeah. So I literally from the moment. So let me tell you how a process works in the mind of me.
Yeah.
Mondays is when I go studio. I book the studio in advance. And then I don't write the song at all. I don't pay attention to what I'm going to write about. I don't look for a melody. I don't do anything until Monday morning. Monday
Okay.
morning, I wake up about 6 a.m. I book the studio for 11. And that 4 hours or 5 hours, whatever it is after I get my coffee, is I spend writing a song. So I write a song and then I finish it, I chart it, and then I finish it by the time I get to the studio. Studio is 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then my guy that I use, he mixes, masters. He's a one-stop shop. He does everything, plays instruments, the whole works. We work on that song. He works on it nonstop till it's done. He gives it back to me the next day. Well, I create my music videos. I don't know if you've seen them, but I put a lot of work behind my actual production music
Yeah, they
videos,
high
not just
quality.
the little one. Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of work behind them. So once the song's done, I'm not focusing on the song no more. Like the song is done, but now it's time to create art and visuals, right? So I do all the editing, all the directing, all the setup of the videos, all the takedown of the videos myself. And I get to create like an art now and show you guys of like what I did. And then down to the next step is the album cover. Once we get the video done, I sit and doodle and create the album cover online. So it's like every step of my song from from the writing to the music video is 100% me and me only.
Fine.
There's not someone helping. So there's a paid videographer that does not, and I love him to death. He's amazing because he does not open his mouth and give an opinion on the video.
You just
He
hold the
does it.
camera.
What he holds the camera and he's
Okay.
great at what he does. He gets the right shots. He knows what shots I'm looking for. He doesn't give an opinion on the video, and sometimes he hasn't even heard the song when he gets there. So he just knows that I need these shots, and I give him a shot list before he gets there. So just
Fine.
telling you all that because it's like when you watch one of my videos and you're listening to an original song, it's a whole art, like the whole. It's not just a song I'm wanting you to hear. I'm wanting you to watch the video because I'm showing you some of the missed Easter eggs that's in the video that was in the song written in there. So like
Fine.
there's so many times, like for example, the new song that's out with Giddy Up that's got Big Smo in there.
Okay.
Little Easter eggs that people wouldn't know is that Smo is in the whole video. In the beginning, when Smo walks in the door at the bar, it's
Mm-hmm.
playing in the background. If you listen, it's playing his song that's named the same as my song. His song Giddy Up is playing in the background. So everything is so thought out. It's almost like and what I did was I wanted the bouncer to not recognize me, but I wanted the bouncer to recognize Big Smo because it's almost like him handing off not a torch, but me paying homage to this man that created so much of this lane. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like, this guy didn't know me, but Big Smo saying, here it is. Here's the limelight. Giddy Up is here. Now it's your turn to do Giddy Up. So every video's got those things. Like if you watch, I did a cover of Gangster's Paradise.
Oh man, that's fine. I got to
Which
check that out.
which I think is my favorite video I've ever done because it's like a short film, right? At the end of this movie, so my wife gets kidnapped in the video, and we show the whole
Whoa.
process of her being kidnapped, right? We show the ransom. We show me meeting the guy with money. We show that in the fight scene that the guy that's fighting me is actually the bodyguard of the guy that I borrowed the money from. And the guy that stole my wife is actually the one that's giving me the money to pay him back. It's really crazy. And at the end, someone gets shot. And we filmed it to be able to show who gets shot, but we never released it. So at the end of the video, there's a gunshot that tells a story about who actually got shot, me or the other guy.
Yo, does it continue into the next video, or do you get the conclusion in that video?
So we were going to do like a short film in that, but there's no conclusion in that video at all. We never did a second video. The one that's a crazy conclusion that goes from one to the other is Moonshine Hill. Is a story in the video about this guy who's my best friend. His name is Cortez Outlaw. He's the rapper in a lot of my songs. He's my best friend in life, and he's almost like my son or brother at this point in time. Not just a best friend, like he's like family to me. And in the video in Moonshine Hill, he's the cop that's trying to arrest us. And then in Hillbilly Lavish, it shows him pushing the cop car, and he becomes us. When he closes the hood, he literally becomes a hillbilly, right? And then in Horse Ride, he has children and family, and he's now part of our family. And then the final production is at the very end of it, we're all gangsters. It's me, Young Buck, and Cortez Outlaw, and we're all in our square bodies, and it's the final four-part set to the original video. So it shows the life of a guy that literally we brought into our family, and we made him us, right? So it's a lot of the unity and bringing in, not just when it comes to like racism and stuff like that, but we wanted to show that like I'm not to bounce around, but I'm big on when it comes to like sometimes when it comes to racism, is the best way to fight racism is through, I know this sounds, may sound kind of cheesy to say, but through love and just showing people that we have unity and we get along and we're family, Wow. And I tell Cortez all the time, and I'm like, you know what, best way for us to fight any kind of people that hate white people or hate black people, and there's racism on both sides, is just us to freaking be family. You know what I mean? And you don't care that I'm white, and I don't care that you're black, right? We're family. We don't know, right? We're homies. And so that's what this video is about, man. It's just like the embracing of two families that's coming together, and they're one,
There's nothing wrong with that. From what I'm hearing, from everything that you do, and it's all independent, when I hear like a lot of up and coming artists and they come up with excuses for why they can't do things, it makes no sense to me when you're doing so much.
Man, everything I do is for my cell phone. And I don't have, when I say I'm independent, there's some people that got independent. They're independent in the sense of label wise, but they still have a publisher. They're independent, but they still have a marketing team. They're independent, but they have a manager. I've never had a manager. I've never had no one. I've never had nobody do one thing for me, not one thing. And I've got about 40 fully produced music videos and about 200 originals, and not one person do anything.
I was going to say, your stuff is very high level.
Thank you.
That's impressive as hell.
It's basic at best, man, but like I do everything I can to make it good, and I just want to get better, and I want to get, to the point where like I want to get, I don't want to ever get to the point where I think that my stuff is good enough, right? Because I want to be able to do better, and I want to make better music. And I always say I can't stand when people talk about like how good their music is and how, man, I'm the hardest rapper and all this kind of stuff, because it's disappointing to me, because like unless you can say you've ever written, like unless you've written a song like Holler Boys or Unchained Melodies, or I say one from each genre, or Billie Jean, or I'm trying to think of like Pretty Woman, like those are all
classics.
Amazing songs that everybody, timeless songs that the vast majority would know what they are, right?
Facts.
Don't Be Cruel by Elvis. I mean, it's
Careless Whisper.
So you can't say that your song is a 10 or rate songs as a 10 and that you're good and that you're a great writer unless you can put your songs in that category, right? So it's like the best song I've ever written, maybe an 8, right? A 7.5, an 8, being real. Because if a 10 is those other songs, I can't be much more than 8, right? But so my goal is that I want to be able to write a 9. You know what I'm saying? Like I pray to God every day that someday I'm able to be good enough that I can be able to write something that's a 9. You know what I mean? In my lifetime. And the only way to do that is to stay humble and be able to make sure that you don't have that confidence level to the point of cockiness, right? So
you're always like learning and improving.
Yeah. And I always set, like I tell people all the time too, it's like I set my goals to where they're reachable. You know what I mean? Like I talked to a cat the other night that was like, man, like he was a good kid. Like he was a great guy. But he was like, man, I just want to make the music I make. I want it to sound really good in case I ever play an arena or, play an amphitheater or whatever. I want it to have good sound if I ever play in one of the big places. I'm like, brother, you got 2 songs out, man.
Word.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you are way, way ahead of thinking, right?
Facts.
You're not even thinking straight, man. Like me, I'm like, all I care about right now is just hitting like, I've always wanted to hit 10 million streams, you know what I mean? Or 5 million streams. 5 million streams, I'm close to it on Moonshine Hill. We're 5 million streams on one platform. 5 million, we've hit 5 million on all platforms, but I'm wanting to hit 5 million streams on Spotify, let's say. And that's a goal. Like I will be good. But if you set your goals where they're reachable, if you quit music tomorrow, you'll have quit a success.
Facts.
But if you make it Brickstone or you make it, Madison Square Garden as your goal, if you quit tomorrow, you quit as a failure.
Facts.
So it's got to be, you got to be, set these goals where they're reachable because they'll screw you over if you don't.
100%. I feel you on that.
Now you do music too, don't you?
Yeah. Rap and sing a little bit, but it's more so like alternative, lo-fi, hip-hop, and R&B.
All right. What's it like if I was going to compare it to somebody? I hate when people say that to me, but like
old school Tribe Called Quest, maybe a little bit of permanent, like Griselda to some degree. And then on the singing flow, it's more like I'm heavily influenced by like 90s and 2000s pop and R&B. So like NSYNC is in my bag. I redid a song called Kiss Me by, I think the name of the group was 6 Feet None Richer.
Yep, I remember that.
So like things along those lines. So I would make some more so those kind of comparisons, or Childish Gambino, things like that.
Damn, man, that's crazy. That's awesome. I got to listen now that I've got like a visual. I got to check it out. You got music videos out and stuff?
Yeah, I just put out a song called Bobby Brown. That's like a bunch of songs that I've done and videos I have that I just decided like, why not just put it out? But now when I'm like listening back to my old stuff, I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. And like, I'll even play it for people and they'll say, yo, the mixing is amazing on this. Where'd you get it done? I'm like, in my room. Just sat there and did it all myself, recorded it same way I'm talking right now, same mic, right? It's just that I had so much experience as a songwriter and producer for years. Like I had to deal when I was 16 for songwriting and production, and it went horrible. It scared the shit out of me. Saw some horrible stuff within the industry and was like, don't want no parts of that. And just like fell back. But then I still have like friends that's like heavily connected or like A&Rs that would hit me up. Hey man, working with this R&B singer. Can you send me something? And I'll send something. So I have like a few placements on like a few like Atlantic Records artists for like writing, or my vocals would be in the background or some shit like that.
Damn, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And I guess fell into YouTube. I just randomly was, oh, y'all want to hear my opinion on it? But then like when I see people that be talking and they don't know what the fuck they talking about, I'm like, that is crazy. People just get on here, just act like they have any kind of experience within music or knowledge, and they don't know nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree totally. I did not know, was not aware how important YouTube was at all until, I'm going to be honest with you. Well, I'm not going to say no names actually, but I was on this guy's reaction channel and he was talking to me about how I need to work with this artist and that artist, right? And he was like, man, you know, your goal is you want to where you want to be. He's like, I could probably get you in with this artist. And I checked out that artist, and I was like, I went there, spot. What's that?
No, I was reacting. I was like, what?
Well, so he was like, you need to work with this artist, you need to work with this artist. And I checked out their Spotify, and I was like, I've got more streams today than they have their whole career. Like, I'll work with them. I'm not against that at all. But when I was talking to him, it made it sound like, you know, someday you got to try to work with this guy, right? Crazy. And I was like, the next one he sent me to, and he's like, man, you need to work with this guy. Seriously, he's got a lot going on. I go to his monthly listeners, and I'm like, what is he talking about? What's he talking about, right? So confused, man. I was like, I don't know what is going on right now. Am I crazy? Like, am I just crazy? And then when it got to the third one, he said that, you know, I turned those two down. I was like, no. He's like, well, this one here you're going to pay for. And finally, it was $3,500. Wow. He said I was going to pay for the feature. And finally, it was someone at my level, right? That was someone stream-wise at my level. And I'm like, wait, why don't I just swap verses with him? He's like, man, he's not going to do that with you at all. And this is where I found out what I was doing wrong in their eyes. Like, I still think that's bogus and crazy, right? Because when you're a musician, there's two kinds of musicians in my eyes. There's YouTubers that go viral, right? And then there's people that actually get streams from their radio, like being played in their car. So you could have some guy that's like getting crazy viral attention because he had a viral video, but they're not downloading his song, right? They're just watching it because it's like a niche. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Let's say, for example, I mean, the guy he could look like a character. He could look like Captain Hook. Or he could look like
no pirate.
Pirates of the, you know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
So the stream, their video may be blowing up, right? Because people are so interested in the look of it, right? Or the look of somebody, anybody, right? Could be look like Jack Sparrow, right? And people are like, oh my God, listen to this guy rap or listen to this guy sing, you know, because this character. But then it don't carry over to, are they getting radio play? Is it timeless music? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, 100%.
So what I wasn't getting was that these YouTube stars now are YouTube stars and they're TikTok stars, right? Nice. And they're Instagram stars, but they're not necessarily timeless musicians. Okay. And what he wasn't doing was he wasn't looking at my numbers stream-wise at all. All he was looking at is, they don't load videos on YouTube. He doesn't use his YouTube. So he's got only a few hundred followers at the time, right? Or a few thousand. Right. And so I didn't think YouTube was that important anymore. I thought YouTube had just died off. For some weird reason, I thought TikTok and Instagram and Facebook videos had taken over YouTube, which was my lack of knowledge. I didn't realize it. So when I realized that, I started busting it right then. I was like, all right, shoot, I'm going to have to start busting this because I don't want people, even though I don't agree with this necessarily, I don't want people over here telling me that I'm having to work with somebody that has, I mean, one guy that he sent me to, the first guy, had one song out. And it was like an honor, but that guy has some controversial videos on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. He's controversial. And so, but I'm like, I've got 200 originals. I'm not necessarily wanting to do songs with someone that's just controversial if I can't relate to their music. Does that make sense? Facts. Like, if I can relate to their music, of course, I don't care how many followers they got or how many streams they have, whatever. But like, I can't relate to their music. So why would I want to do music with them? I'm not going to make them better just because they have went viral twice.
That's a weird standard to have. It's kind of, I get it. Like for someone like you, right? YouTube can do nothing but boost what you're doing. You can use it as a tool. But there's people where their numbers are just inflated, where they don't have that like foundation that like the same that you've built of releasing music for years and putting out stuff and like actually being talented at what you do. They don't have that foundation. So it's just I get clicks on this video, and it could be for any reason. The thumbnail looks crazy, the subject matter, you're featuring fucking political figures that have nothing to do with the music in any way, shape, or form. Right. It really doesn't correlate. Are those people performing? Are they going on tour? More than likely not.
Here's the thing too. You can't really consider the fact that if you put Trump in a song, right? You put his name in a song, and it's about Trump, and it's got the thumbnail's got Trump on the outside of it. I promise you, that's going to do a lot better than me with no thumbnail, not even knowing what a dang thumbnail is, just loading my song in a fully produced music video. You know what I'm saying? Because people are very interested. What's he going to say about Trump? What's he going to say about Kamala? You know what I mean? So it was like when you got them political videos out there, of course they're going to get played immensely. They're going to get played, especially during the times of us changing over presidents. It's just going to happen. So it's like that was the thing. But it's like it's weird on how you compare music and you compare careers. I don't know that you can really compare careers, honestly, and I don't know that. I think you just have to go by the music in general. I don't think you can look at anybody's numbers nowadays. I really don't.
I go by engagement.
Yep, in that, and you just have to go by the quality of the music. Is the music good or the music not good? Who cares if they have 1 million followers or they have no followers? Let's start paying attention to the quality of the music and quit looking at people's platform. Because again, if a year ago, if you're just judging me, which a lot of people were off of my YouTube, oh my God. You know, I mean, I didn't even know you're supposed to load. I would load the video on YouTube, and you know what I did not know? I had every video where it said, because they can be seen to children. I had every video clicked where it says can be seen to children or show children. I did not know that cuts the comments off, right?
Yeah.
So none of my videos had engagements. None of my videos had comments. For 7 years, not one video had comments.
Crazy.
And had no earthly idea. No one worked with me on it. Nothing whatsoever. So, like I said, I learned a lot in the last year, but it took that. And I give a lot of credit to that person because I'm not saying that he did anything wrong. It was just how people look at, like, he's a YouTube person himself, and he's just going off of this YouTube singer and this YouTube singer should both write songs because they both have controversial videos. And this YouTube person that's not doing good and this YouTube person is not doing good should write songs. You know what I'm saying? It's really crazy.
I can I understand that, Johnny. It's just, I don't know. I go based off of like real life, real people. A lot of the things that's numbers based, it really don't last long, right? Because it's fake. If people are doing whatever, whether it's clickbait to get the numbers or whether it's botting or anything, if it's not genuine, it ain't gonna last. Right, like I've learned that lesson from evaluating music and looking at like the K-pop scene of like their numbers be crazy to where people might even think that they're botting, but then when you look at it, it's just that their connection with their fans is so deep, and they let their supporters know so much about them from like the start. Like I ended up binging BTS to where they was all living in one apartment trying to figure it out, begging people to perform for them. Like, yo, please watch us. So we're now they're the biggest group. Their fans feel like, nigga, I was there. I was with you when this happened. And those fans will listen to your song when it come out 5,000 times to make sure you go number one. Right. And I think that's where it correlates.
Another perfect example was last year. Do you know that this is crazy to me? I think this is absolutely crazy. But that Shakira was in the top 5 artists on Spotify last year.
That's wow.
And when someone told me that, I was like, there's no way. Like, she hasn't had a hit in years. Well, she had a song come out, and because the Latino community is so big when it comes to when you have a song, look at 6ix9ine, right?
Facts.
That Latino community is so big about pushing these artists that they push them. Like, they will make sure they push them. Like, you don't have to worry about bots. Because so I looked, and she had 60 million monthly listeners when I looked, and I'm like, that's crazy. But she just had a song come out. Shakira, not even a top song, just a song come out. And it's the same, like I said, it's again, look at 6ix9ine. How 6ix9ine had 10 million monthly listeners with the crap he puts out, right?
Booker, he started doing the Spanish music.
Oh my God, yeah, and he's killing it now. He's making more off the Spanish music than he was ever off of, the crazy music he was making before. So that's just exactly what you're saying. That's all it is. It's the crowd and your fan base.
100%.
For sure.
I think there's people that's seeing that as well and trying to manipulate audiences. Like I see that happening with country rap right now. There's people that just out of nowhere, I'm country rap now. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Since when? Oh, because it's trending? Because you see, oh, there's an audience that likes that type of music. You're like, oh, let me just slide in this. It's like how I heard someone use the example of like blackface. Now there's country face.
Yep.
You just put it on and, hey, I'm from here. That don't really make sense.
Here's the problem though. We almost created that, a lot of that ourselves, in the sense of country community, in the sense of, for years and years and years, man, people started talking about, like, if you had skinny jeans, right, you weren't country. So you had skinny jeans, you weren't country. I've heard people say, "Oh man, this singer right here's got skinny jeans. This singer got skinny jeans. They're not country." And then I've heard that, like, if you don't have on Mossy Oak and you ain't got on Carhartt, you're not country. That was scary to me, because I was like, okay, but what are y'all going to do when they turn this around and regular non-country people start dressing like you're ideal for country?
Right.
What are you going to do then, right? Because now you got all these city people from the north. Now they go buy a Carhartt and they go get on the Can-Am or side-by-side. And, well, didn't y'all say before that that's what made us country, was you had to do this stuff to be country? Well, it's backfiring now, because those same people, I've never looked at what outfit, man. Again, maybe it's because I used to have pink hair, but like, you're not going to take away the struggles that I've had in my life. You know what I mean? You're not going to take away the fact that I've been working on farms since I was 5 years old. You're not going to take away the fact that I've been struggling trying to feed my family since I was 5 years old, and didn't have a grocery store to go to, right? Or being hungry most of my life when I was growing up. Like, you're not going to take that from me. So by God, I can wear whatever I want to wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can wear, if I want to wear some skinny jeans, I can wear skinny jeans, because I've earned that right to wear skinny jeans. Does that make sense?
No, facts.
So, but the problem is now you got guys that because we've hounded so much about you got to look country. Now these guys are just thinking all they got to do is go put some cowboy boots on. And I sent this to church one day. I sent him the picture of the country rap starter kit, and it had a picture of a lift. It had a gym barbell. It had a tattoo gun, and it had a beard kit.
I knew it.
I'm like, that's all you got to do, bro. Is that's the country rap starter kit. Like, that's it. And that sucks, because it's the new freaking starter kit. I'm like, God almighty.
That is hilarious to me, but not as facts. And then people will pull like excuses.
It's a look. And it started again because freaking Luke Bryan, we were always like, oh, he's not country enough, but this I ain't country enough. And I'm like, dadgummit. Because people back then probably was way countryer than these guys are now that's trying to portray country artists. What they need to do is they need to just stay just doing rap. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with them having a career. They can have a career all day long. And you can even say they're good or they're bad. It's more so of just be a rap artist, right?
Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with that. But what is exactly? I don't see nothing wrong with that, right? If you rap, just rap. But to be clear, what exactly would be country rap? Because I remember having a conversation with someone who was heavy into country rap about this recently, and we kind of disagreed.
I think here's the issue for me anyway, that I think is that in pop music doesn't have a pop fan base that have been through a history of generations of battles of pain and poverty and per se, right? Mm-hmm. Opera has not had generations of battling pain and poverty and struggling and a lifestyle. Classical has not had years of battling pain and struggles. Rock has not had pain and struggles and whatever. There's two genres in music, in my opinion, rather. This is just my opinion, that are going to be very, very, very territorial when it comes to when they let somebody in, right? That's hip hop and that's country and country rap, right? Because country artists for years and years and years, our lineage goes back to just history of our families and we've struggled and we've worked and we've worked our ass off to have what we have, and we went through so much. Same with rap; they worked their ass off through years and years and years and years. And let me tell you something: there's a guy the other day that, or actually not the other day, today, one of my homies, I won't say no name because he may be watching this, but one of my homies, he's from the streets. Like he's straight up, he is a street dude, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he brought up this new cat that's got country music that's coming along, and he's not country at all. It's a white guy, right? He's not country at all, but he wears the belt buckle and he wears the boots and he wears this cowboy hat and all this kind of stuff because he's trying to hop on the bandwagon of country rap right now. Okay. So here's the thing. What I told my homie, I said, listen, you won't want me to wear a flat cap and have my pants sagging and go down the hood and start rapping on the street, right? Because that's an insult to where you came from, and I would never do it, right? I would never, because there's history behind your genre, and there's history behind the streets, and there's history behind respecting where you come from. Is that right?
Facts.
The same thing is, I can't do a song with your homie. I know nothing against him, right? You want me to do a song with him? There's nothing against him, right? But I can't do a song with him because, to me, he's being fake, right? It'd be the same as if I put on a flat cap with my pants sagging and went down the hood. That ain't where I came from. It's not right for me to do that and pose like I'm somebody I'm not. So in the same sense, just like you wouldn't want me to do that in front of you. It's almost like him mocking when I see him do that. You know what I'm saying? 100%. And homie's got his, I mean, the guy that's with him is like, he's not a bad singer and stuff. It's just he's on this bandwagon right now. They're coming out with a country rap album and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I have nothing against the guy. Nothing. I'm sure he's a nice guy. It's just he don't understand that I don't want to do a song with him. I'll do a song with my homeboy all day long because he ain't trying to be country. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we'll split it. He's rapping like he's from the hood because he is. I'll be rapping like I'm country because I am. But this other guy that's from the hood is now acting like he's country. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't screw with that. So to answer your question, what makes it country? It's authentic, and that it's just the genre. It's the heritage. It's the years and years and years of our families from both sides going through all kinds of stuff to be where we are. And if someone comes in, it's a little bit harder than if someone fakes and becomes a pop artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what makes it. That's what makes it. I don't think every genre is like that. I just think that this genre is like that, and that's why this genre is like that. Is because it's built on faith and built on our families and ancestors and so forth. So. But like I said, the best analogy is this guy. Everybody involved, my homie's a great rapper. Man, he's freaking phenomenal. And I believe in this guy like crazy. He is a badass rapper. And the dude he's doing music with right now, well, like I said, white guy, he's a really good singer. But I just wish he would take off all the get up. You know what I'm saying? I wish he would take off the getup, the cowboy boots, the big belt buckle, and all that stuff, because it's almost like a making fun kind of thing, you know?
Word.
And I told him that today. I told him, I'm not saying that I didn't want him to hear, because I told him, I was like, I just can't. I can do a song with you, but I can't do a song with him.
No, it makes sense. I kind of felt that way about when Little Nas X made that country song.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, bro. I got completely bamboozled by that one. Because I didn't see that. You know what I mean? I saw I just saw a guy that some people I felt like didn't like the fact he was black. Singing a country song. I thought he was country. I thought he came from the country, right?
Nah, he was like, I didn't know.
I didn't know he was trolling. I had no earthly idea. Like, it went right in my head. I didn't look into it. You know what I'm saying? I just heard the song and I was like, no, I get it. I guess this is fun. You know what I mean? And then when I found out it was trolling, I was like, oh my God.
He was trolling his ass off. I was like, for real? He's almost making fun of it.
I know. I was like, daggum. I did not know that at all. Because I was kind of mad because I saw an interview that Florida Georgia Line did. And someone interviewed him back when they were together. And this lady on TV was like, do you think that's country music at all? And he said, there's nothing country about that. I'm sorry, but y'all may come down on me, but there's nothing country about it. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, Florida Georgia Line shouldn't be talking about anything being country because they ain't had a country song yet, technically. So I'm like, they can't be the one talking. But now looking back on it, I'm like, well, hell, I guess he did know what he was talking about.
He was right. He was right.
Lil
Nas ain't never go back to doing country since, has he?
Man, he had that one. That rodeo song was a good one. And I think it had Cardi B on it, maybe, but it was pretty good.
I heard that.
But yeah, it was pretty good. And then that Breland kid come up with that truck song right off the tail of that one, which was good.
A lot of people doing that same type of flow.
You know what the worst one I've ever heard was, Chingy come out with one with a country rap song. Chingy, who was it that was with him? Chingy had a country rap song a year ago, maybe.
Right there, Chingy?
What? Right there. Yep. He had a country rap song. And it was with a country artist. Can't think of who the darn guy is, but he had it with a country artist.
Damn.
That one was silly. And then Kodak Black had one with somebody.
What the hell?
That was another silly one. And these are known artists they had them with, other like big country artists.
These are like people from the South, but not country. Yeah,
they were trying to. I think they were trying hard to tap into the thing. But again, this is all those people. I feel like give credit to Lil Nas X. Like if you ask Kingy or you ask Nelly or you ask Kodak Black, why are y'all getting in this? Who founded country rap? The crazy thing about it was they would probably say Lil Nas X, right?
That would be insane.
I bet you they would say it.
They would say Lil Nas X before Nelly?
Do what?
I said they would say Lil Nas X before Nelly, right? Because I don't think Nelly's
saying, like if you ask them like who started this new craze, not before Nelly ever did the thing with Tim McGraw, but like if you ask any of these new people, they probably think that Lil Nas X probably sparked all this. They wouldn't go to artists like Church or anybody like that. They're probably a lot of people see that stuff, but it's because that was what was on TV, right? That was so mainstream. It was like the craziest mainstream song ever, right?
I'm thinking about that now. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I think Nelly, even before the Tim McGraw song, Nelly was trying to do country for a while. Like even on his first album.
I mean, country grammar was very on the fence. Like that was.
He was. What was this? If you want to go and take a ride with me, wasn't that like him redoing a country song?
Yeah,
he was trying.
It was. Right. I mean, yep. That's definitely.
I forgot who sings the original.
I'll tell you right now, man. Like I'm a huge older country fan, like from the '90s. John Michael Montgomery said, "Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd give anything to make your mind on mine. I'd be your bidding and be at your beck and call. Hey. I ain't never seen anyone looking so fine, man. I gotta have her. She's one of a kind. I'm going once, going twice. I'm sold to the lady in the second row. She's an 8, she's 9, she's 10. I know she got ruby red lips, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm about to bid my heart goodbye." And that was just a country
bars. He was damn near rapping.
That's just a country song, and that's his same speed. I didn't speed that up.
Wow,
that's
he was going that speed.
He had it as a country, maybe a little bit faster, but not much. But I'm like, they've been sneaking that stuff in there for years, right? They were just too afraid. It took somebody like Church that was like, made it real, right? And made it like it authentic. You know what I mean? But they've been sneaking that crap in there for a while now. No one knew what to call it.
No one really perfected it.
Yeah, and no one knew what it was. They were just like, "Oh my God, he's just talking fast," But yeah, it was in there. I used to love that. The '90s country, though, man, it was so good. That '90s country, Clay Walker and John Michael Montgomery, and oh my God, Mark Chestnut.
You mess with Dixie Chicks?
Do what?
Did you mess with Dixie Chicks?
Never.
Never?
Never, man. I never was a Dixie Chicks fan.
Yeah.
Never was a Dixie Chicks fan. Oh no.
What about Dolly Parton?
I love Dolly Parton, man. Okay. I wish I was racing between her and Betty White on who could be possibly the first woman president. I was praying to be one of them. Good old Dolly. I can't believe her husband just died, man.
For real? Oh man, that's messed up. I didn't know that.
And they've been married for like 60-something years.
Damn.
You never hear about him though. It's crazy because I don't think many people even seen him before.
I was gonna say I never saw him. He wasn't on a Hannah Montana episode.
He what?
I said he wasn't on that Hannah Montana episode.
No. Yeah, he. But Dolly Parton, I used to love Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, all those women singers back then.
Oh, Reba was fire.
Mm-hmm. Fancy, goodness gracious, unbelievable.
Reba.
But you know what? I was never a. God, this makes me feel bad saying this. I never was a Gretchen Wilson fan. I don't know if you know who Gretchen Wilson was. But I never was a big Gretchen.
What song they sing?
She had that redneck woman song. Well, I'm a redneck woman.
Okay, I've heard that.
Yeah, but it was a hit. But she was good. But I never really got. I guess because she didn't have like a big catalog of hits. But like Reba McEntire, man, oh my gosh,
and she always seems so happy. Just
she does seem happy. She's always in a good mood, ain't she?
Happy as
I never was a. What's that girl's name? Oh man, I try to think of the. Darren, what is her name? She's like one of the most famous women singers.
Taylor Swift right now?
No, definitely. I'm not definitely not Swiftie. But
she got like one good song I like. Just one joint.
Listen, her older songs back in the day, I just wish she'd have kept it to sitting on a stool playing guitar and singing.
That's probably one of the songs I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was. I just love that. Like I love that, just the humbleness of I
just
think
playing joint.
Mm-hmm.
That joint when she was like holding up signs in the video. You belong with me. That's my shit. I fuck with that. I was would you about to say?
I can't believe I can't figure out that lady's name that sings that's so famous in country music.
You're not talking about Dolly, you're not talking about Reba.
No, it's a pretty girl. She's dark haired. She still sings till this day, but
you're not talking about Charlotte Underwood, right?
She sings I Feel Like a Woman. I feel like a woman.
I know that song. I can't remember who sings it.
Man, I feel like a woman. Woo.
I know the song. I know the song you're talking about. I cannot remember that person's name now.
We'll think of it eventually. We'll have to hit each other up when we actually think about it. We'll be like, daggum.
Oh, I'll definitely be able to find it.
I feel like a woman.
I know what song you're talking about. I just can't remember the singer's name.
It'll drive me crazy. But anyway, yeah, so I love the older country though.
That was fire from what I've heard. I do want to get more into it and see what I missed.
Yeah, what music?
What music? Into? I'm into.
You like more rap or what?
I'm into the old school. I would say 2000s and 90s rap. I could go from Tribe Called Quest to like 50 Cent.
Yeah,
back and forth between that. 50 Cent was one of my favorite rappers for sure in the 2000s.
Man, listen, 50's problem is, I think, and not that he had a problem. He definitely didn't need no help to get no better. But it's hard when you come out with the greatest rap album of all time right off the bat. You know what I mean? Or arguably one of the greatest rap albums of all time, if not the. I mean, you got to think, you imagine coming out with that on the first round. I mean, it's just
he had the cheat code for that because the first album that he was supposed to come out with got shelved. So the album that we heard was like a highlight of the best songs from the album that ever came out with new production and then some new songs with Dr. Dre. So that was like him cheating. Like he worked on those songs for years.
Yeah,
that was like his life project. Then you add the motivation with all the things that happened to him. Like so sometimes people that think that he goes too far for roasting people that passed away that he was beefing with in music. And I'm like, you're talking about the same people that could have been connected to him getting shot a bunch of times?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course he's gonna laugh and joke around that. That was some like real going to war type shit that he went through. Like, and he was able to like translate that into music to where you could feel that shit, right? Put on headphones and feel what he was going through, right? Like in the movie he came out with was like a PG version of the actual story.
Yeah, it was. Shania Twain.
That's who it was. I had like ST in my mind, and I could not come up with
Twain.
I definitely heard her music before.
Golly.
She had some dope records.
Oh my gosh, she had a bunch of hits, man. Bunch of hits. She's still out performing though. She don't even look like the same person now though. She's had a lot of work done. She looks like she's 20 again.
That's crazy.
She's like 60, but man, she looks 20. It's wild.
Bro, that's fire.
I got to start doing whatever they're doing, man.
Probably Pilates.
Something. I don't know. It's like faceless or something.
Drinking water.
But yeah, what else do we want to get into tonight, man?
I was gonna ask you, you've collabed with Ryan Upchurch before, right?
Yep.
Tell me about that. How was that?
It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was on live with Hosier yesterday, not before last, talking about it. It was like my expectations weren't the same, I feel like, as a lot of people. So my expectations wasn't really to collab with church. My expectations, or not expectations, but my wants out of it was not to collab with church. Getting the call from church and just from just having someone like church find my music and be like, "Oh my God, you need to come here, man. Let's work together." It was like I didn't need a song with church at that point in time, because that alone for me was like it just meant so much. It was everything to me, right? And then getting there on that side. So putting that aside, I could care less if I'm on a song with church at that point in time. I don't care if he could tell me to get in the booth and just talk. I'd be fine. I wouldn't care, right? But the cool part about the whole thing was watching him. I've been with a lot of musicians. I've watched a lot of artists. I've watched a lot of songwriters. I've watched a lot of guitarists. I've watched a lot of people do what he does, and I'm one of those people that does what he does. Not at that level, but I'm someone that knows my way around studio. I'd never seen anybody that was as talented as this man and do what this man does, right? I'd never seen anybody that was just picking up instruments and was like picking up a guitar and creating a riff, and then picking up some drums and creating a beat, and picking up, his harmonica and working on some things. And it was just like crazy watching this guy just like go and work on music. And it was like, it was inspiring. It was something that, like, I didn't care. I could have sat there in the seat and not got the studio. Point being, I didn't have to come there and record a song, because watching it, being a part of it, and feeling like you're like in the room while something's happening. And I don't mean to be cheesy about saying greatness, but when you're watching something be creative, I don't care if the people that would say, "Oh my God, this guy's up his butt because he's saying calling and says it's greatness." I challenge anybody to create something that man can create in that length of time in that studio. I would challenge anybody. I would challenge myself to do that, because it can't be done. I don't care what anybody thinks. But then to give you a different outlook on things, when I left there, the last time I was there, when I left, we'd had a whole weekend of just like days, just creating music and just, bonding and having everybody just having a badass time, right? And just working on music. And then when I leave, that's when I first saw one of the first disses that come out. And I was like, it's kind of crazy. I told my wife, I was like, it's crazy that, like, I haven't heard not one derogatory or none of these people's names come out of this man's mouth while I was there, right? Not one. No matter, forget what's on YouTube, on stories. In real life, not once did I hear a derogatory remark, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of crazy that a man with a baby and a man with a wife and responsibilities like he has, that's creating music, trying to have 3 albums come out. And then you leave and you're like hearing all this other crap, and you're like, man, if they only knew what that man back there doing, right? And so that was a crazy thing for me. That was the eye opener for me that told me a lot of what not just happened in the studio in Nashville when everybody had to get together, or the dismiss that happened soon after that. Mm-hmm. I go back to the fact that I don't care what's on stories. I don't care what's on Instagram. I go back to the fact that the focus that was being put in at that studio was something I'd never seen in my entire life, in my entire career. Never. You got a dude that's literally creating from scratch timeless melodies, timeless riffs, timeless stories, timeless writing. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing that can be created in a Nashville studio with a bunch of guys that's coming down there for an agenda that can compete with what's being created, or what was being created in that studio at Ghost Ranch.
Facts. And I wasn't even there, and I could tell that.
There's nothing that can be, because I'm an artist that I can play every instrument except for drums. And I never once, I told Hosier this here, that I never once felt the need to pick up a guitar of his. I never once felt the need to play anything. I was just sitting back listening to this dude do it. And man, like I said, he's super talented in different lanes, not just his rapping, man. It's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy to watch. But I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. If you ask me if I would rather be at that other studio or that one, I'd pick that one any day. Any day. There's no comparison. It doesn't matter.
Can't blame you.
So that's it. But yes, it was a, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's a weird vibe that you get when you cross over into Cheatham County. There's a weird, like, I don't know if it's vibe or what it is, but it's like a surreal feeling, right? When you know that you're on the way there to his place. It's weird. It's weird. I can't explain it. It'll give you cold chills, because you just know that you're like, you could potentially be a part of something that is timeless, that people 20 years from now will be playing. And that alone is something it's remarkable. Crazy.
Do you think that like maybe they got a sense that y'all was over there cooking up some heat and was like, let me try to take it down or distract it, or
I think, and if they weren't over us doing it at that point in time, it's more of it's a thing of that, he's on the radar anyway, because he's telling everybody that, he's got 3 albums coming out, right? And of course he's going to tell everybody it's promoting. And as coming from them, I can see them being like, listen, we're going to shoot some, take some shots. We're going to shoot it out there and see if something sticks. And it may not sink the ship, but we're going to take a shot at it. You know what I mean? It's like a bunch of pirates trying to take down a ship. And they may be able to do it. They may not be able to do it. And I don't feel like they did it at all. I feel like it kind of backfired on them, because now a lot of people, I feel like, are going to be expecting the songs to come out from the studio in Nashville. I'm saying they're going to be expecting soon those songs to come out with all those guys that was in Nashville at that studio. And I don't think they're going to come out. Personally, I could be totally wrong, but I don't feel like a lot of those songs are going to come out, or any of those songs are going to come out.
I agree.
But the difference is that Church's songs will be coming out, right? So that's where you got to put your money where your mouth is. Yep, that's Creeker 3, and that's where you got to put your money where your mouth is, because he's going to show that, and there's 2 more albums behind that that's coming. So clearly he's creating music at the same time period that they did, and theirs ain't coming out because it's coming out later on, and they're going to pick which ones and all this stuff. But I really don't believe any of those songs are going to come out. I could be totally wrong though. But it's, for me, like I said at the time, for me, it was, I don't know none of these people. Like, I don't know these people from Adam. I couldn't tell you who they are, right? So I know Church. That's what I know. And so the rest of them are figments of my imagination. There's somebody that I've seen on the screen. That's it. They've never done nothing for my music career. So right now, when it comes to my children, I don't know who they are, right? I don't know them. Don't wish them no harm, because I don't even know them. I have no idea who these people are. But for me, it's like that whole environment. I'd seen stuff like that. When you go through breakups and stuff, right? You go through losing friends and stuff like that. You see petty stuff happening. Right. So you're kind of on board. You're like, you see the signs, the warning signs, right? You see people posting photos that you and your ex haven't talked to, right? And your ex don't, usually talk to them. So you see people posting photos, and then you see like weird posts on social media. So all those little signs that I saw of like a normal breakup was what I was seeing from this situation, right? Because you know how when you break up with some girl, first thing she's going to do is she's going to run and try to find your old homie, right?
Take a picture with him.
Happen in real life, bro. That's going to happen in real life. And what next? Your old homie is going to find your other homie that you had a problem with in real life, right? And this is real life 101. And then you're going to find an old business partner. Your old homie's going to find your old business partner that you didn't get along with. And then your old business partner is going to find your ex-girlfriend. And this is just crap that happens, right, in real life. And we all got to watch that just at that studio.
Crazy.
So we got to watch that in real time. And then you expect, people like myself who, whether I knew church or don't know church, you're not going to get real people to go down there. And shame on the people that did do it just for the opportunity. Like I still say, it don't mean you're a terrible human being, but I wouldn't want you as one of my homies. That's for sure.
Facts. They all show their true colors.
I would not want that at all, because even Brantley Gilbert's got that bro code song, and it's like talks about like just bro code. You know what I mean? And I don't care what your homie's done to you. I don't care what it is. If your homie's done anything, you don't go to the exes, right? There's a level of bro code that you kind of got to go by. And there were just none at all. So that's where I was. Do what?
That shows a lot.
Yeah, it was a crazy situation, and like I said, I was glad to be doing what I was doing at that same time. So, like I said, if we have a couple songs come out or no songs, it's good, because I'm like, I had a great time and I enjoyed it, and we killed it. So
I can't wait to hear some of the records. Do you think that they're going to be coming out soon?
The ones that me and Church was on, I've heard that one of them's going to be on the album with Hosier, and then another one will be on a country rap album. And then Church said something about possibly one would be a single. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's kind of crazy, because even my wife is like, "Man, I can't believe you're not that excited about it." It's not that I ain't excited about it. It's like I kind of enjoyed just doing it. You know what I mean? Like. I was like, I was just there having fun. You know what I mean? So I got to experience a lot of stuff, got to learn. And, Church is younger than me, but let me tell you something. I learned a lot, from studio time to professionalism to music. I mean, I learned a lot. So it was a cool environment.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It seems like a lot of people, they don't really have their mindset to that type of level where they're willing to be able to receive the information and learn some stuff, contribute. They're not.
Yeah, man. It's for me. That's all it's about at this point in time, because I'm not ever going to be to the point where I know too much or know enough.
Would there be a point if, I guess, someone dissed you? Would you go back and forth and do like a battle, or just ignore it, keep doing your music?
Well, I had this funny, I don't know if you saw, but I did a couple of videos where I was just kind of being sense of humor wise, just joking about it. And, I was kind of talking about, like, one of them got like 30,000 views, which was kind of crazy, but it was just me kind of giving my opinion on, like, just people asking people to diss me and stuff. And believe it or not, I had two people that messaged me and asked me for my permission to diss me.
Crazy.
And I was like, what is going on right now? Do y'all not know? First of all, I'm joking, right? One guy had literally wrote the diss song and recorded it and sent it to me and asked me for my permission on it. I'm like,
crazy.
What is going on? Right. So I'm like, of course I don't want to be specifically asking to be dissed, you know what I mean? Because it's more of a thing of like, I have two kids and a wife. I don't want the time of having to diss somebody. But if it was somebody, I know this sounds crazy. This is going to make me sound like a real butthole. But if it was somebody that I felt like I want to be as real as I can be, right? I'm not going to be fake to you whatsoever. I'm going to say this as real as I can, even with it making me sound really bad. If their name was big enough that I would gain something by dissing them back, I would do it in a heartbeat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that don't sound bad at all, actually.
I was like, that kind of makes me sound like an opportunist, but or a clout chaser. But if they dissed me and their name was big enough, and I thought that it would be worth my time to do it, that it would help my music career by doing it, bro, I would have the diss like you have not heard. I'd have the best produced video you have ever seen. On a diss track, I'd have a hook on that son of a gun. I mean, you would not believe it. I'd be coming in there looking like damn Tupac with that video, right? I mean, I'd be
Crazy.
pulling out. But if it wasn't, if it was just somebody that was just anybody, there's no way I would waste my time because it's not even worth my effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't take time away from my little girls. But
no, that makes sense.
yeah, somebody that was bigger than me did it, man, or that I thought it'd be a good battle where I was like, oh my God, I'm going to eat this person up. Like, I'm going to destroy them. Yeah, I would do it. But it would have to take that. And, you know, it's because I've talked to Church and Stack about this too. And Church knows but he can battle his own battles. Like, he knows if it came down to it, I would be putting him out there. But I'm like, he doesn't need my help because it's kind of insulting for me to put out, because I've had a bunch of people. It's like, you're not going to protect your home. You're not going to put a verse or put a diss out and like and honor him. I'm like, I'm sorry, but there is no honor in me putting out a diss in honor of Church when I can't rap as good as Church can. You know what I'm saying? Like, let Church rap it because I can't rap as good as him. So I'm like, why in the world would I try to do that? That'd be stupid. So if I was like, hey, Church, step aside, rest your red ones tonight. I got you, man. And then I come in there slow rapping like I do on my hooks and stuff. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine if I'm like, hang it up tonight, Church? There's a new country rapper in town.
That would be funny as hell. Even though
and then I bust through the door and I'm like, I'll be your Huckleberry.
That's hilarious. I do think that you would be able to smoke somebody in a diss song, though. But I understand your point clearly, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I would. I'll leave that to Church, but trust me, I mean, I've got enough in my tank to be able to give it to him. That's for sure. I'm petty. That's my problem. Like I always say, if I ever got in a fight, the gloves are off. At my age, the gloves are off. Like I don't care about that thing where you're not supposed to kick down there and nothing like that. I'm kicking. You know what I mean? Like, especially if my family's around, my kids around, shoot. You better believe I'm gonna bite somebody. I'm gonna bite them or something. I don't know. I'm doing something. So it's the same with battling. You better believe I'm petty. There's no rules when it comes to me. So I'd be afraid. I'd be like, okay, I should, I'd be bringing up the fact that their mama drove a Datsun back in 1985 or something. I'd be like paying people to find the scoop on their parents.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not against that at all. If they send smoke your way.
This craziness about these disses for me was, and I said this in a video once, it's crazy to me that everybody went along with the same thing that Church had already told everybody. That was my problem, right? Everything that was put in the disses, Church, they got from Church.
Right.
So Church has problems with his mom and daddy. Who told us that? Church. Right? We know that. Who told everybody that Church does Adderall in the studio? Church. Right? Yes. I'm like, the crap y'all came up with is the stuff that he told us.
Wasn't even nothing bad.
I'm like, do what?
I said wasn't even nothing bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that you came up with, guys, is the stuff that Church already told us. All the stuff. I challenge anybody to come up with one thing that they came up with that Church did not tell us in his stories. He was open with it. You know how many artists? I mean, my God, people love Ozzy Osbourne. Has anybody ever heard stories of Ozzy Osbourne in his days in rock?
Yeah, he was wild.
I mean, Jesus Christ, bro, he was doing cocaine from the backs of strippers, multiple strippers by the pools and stuff at hotels, and getting kicked out of them. I'm like,
I believe that.
You're worried about some dude taking an Adderall in the studio?
Upchurch didn't bite no head off no bat.
Exactly, or biting the head off a bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm like, we're talking about a guy. I promise you that if you contacted anybody, if you went to the cleanest country artist in the world, I promise you, they're doing shit in the studio. I just guarantee it. I've seen it. So taking an Adderall in the studio is just the weakest thing in the world. And none of that had deepness to be able to, nothing was deep enough. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, when MGK came at Eminem, he brought things that we did not know, right? He brought Shade 45, him having him banned from it. He had him talk about him being pulled off the Yellow Wolf album. He had all kinds of stuff that I did not know, right? that's what a true diss is for. And that's why, even though I felt like Eminem's song was better, Eminem didn't bring anything that we didn't know, right? MGK brought a bunch of stuff that we did not know at all,
Facts.
that the world didn't know. That's a true good diss. Like, that's a true diss. If you can bring stuff that leaves you shocked, but if you're just going to bring the same things to a diss that the guy before you brought, and the guy before you, it's not a diss to me anymore. Like, it's just, and it can be cool. You can maybe say some insults in there, but insulting ain't disses either. I don't care if you say that his aunt looks like a bug. That's one of those, oh shit moments, but that's not a diss, right?
Facts.
It ain't a diss. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't have said his aunt, because he actually has an aunt. But if you just said Church's Uncle Terry, a fake person, looks like a roach, you'd be like, damn, man, that was hard. But that's not a diss. They're missing what a diss is.
A lot of them, they don't have that type of skill set or even know about anything like that. They just ride whatever wave. Oh, everyone's dissing Upchurch now for clout. I even showed in one of the videos I made recently, some guy, I think he's really cool with Adam Calhoun, was dissing Upchurch with him. He's dissing Upchurch and even begging for me to talk about him. Like, I've never seen it. He said my name in it. Like, yeah, talk about me, Industry Exposed. I'm like, what? Who are you? But then if you look at his channel, Upchurch is tagged in his channel, right? For channel tags, you're trying to use the name to get people who are fans of Upchurch to come and check him out this entire time. But then he's dissing Upchurch. That's crazy. And then begging me to, I know you scraping the bottom of the barrel when yo diss to Upchurch is, well, Industry Exposed, my nigga. Word? It's like the 50 Cent meme. Why you say fuck me for?
Man.
These people they're losers. And I don't think that they have that skill set to even be able to challenge Upchurch or challenge anybody, really. I didn't hear diss an entire bunch.
I agree with you. They don't, man. It's apparent for sure. They and there was some good, but there was some. A lot of people asked me, like, who do I thought won it, and who do I thought did the best job? There were some ones out there that was like that I can't even judge it for the content in the song, right? So, because to me, I didn't feel like anybody had content for their songs, but there was one or two songs that I'd be like, okay, that actually, the song itself was good enough. You know what I mean? That was a good song of theirs.
Right.
The Hard Target guy, I felt like his song itself was not a bad song, you know? But I just felt like nobody had anything. I don't even know who that is. The melody of it was, I was like, all right, that's not a bad melody. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
The delivery of it, but it was like the content of it wasn't there to me. Like, it wasn't, there was no daggers in any of those, but it had the best flow.
That's facts. I think one of the Adam Calhoun ones had probably the best beat. One of them beats, one of the Adam Calhoun disses to Upchurch, it was trash, but the beat was hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah. That was like, I felt like it was the second one, maybe.
Right, I think it was. Maybe when he had like a mink on, I was like, this shit is trash, but the beat is cold as the mother.
Yeah. No, maybe the last one, but you're right, it did. But that was the same way with the Target one. Is that song was, I was like, that was actually not a bad song.
It might have been.
It was actually good. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, through all those disses, it was just the same old stuff and same old stuff and same old stuff. I think what I liked about Targets was he said something that sounded like Adderall, but he said, and I didn't just say Adderall or something like that. And I was like, because that was almost his way of saying, I know that everybody says Adderall.
So I'm not going to be the one that says it. Okay.
So he was like, he literally said that I'm not going to say Adderall in it. And I was like, man, you just admitted that everybody says Adderall. But that's hilarious. That Adderall thing is like, it was played out so much throughout that whole process. I'm like, my gosh, we've known about this. And I'm like, no one was saying anything about shrooms, you know what I mean? But he also said that he's done some shrooms. But I'm like, my gosh, I don't know if y'all are even in the industry, because y'all got to understand there's way worse than an Adderall and shrooms. This industry is way worse. A mess, bro. And you're talking to somebody, I've never smoked a joint in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette in my whole life. So
wow.
never, not once in my life.
Yeah. That's
I know. It's a little ridiculous. But
you live that clean life.
Yeah, it's you know, and you know what's crazy? I believe in fully legalizing weed because I think it's the greatest thing ever. And I think that I believe that more people will be happy without it. The only reason I don't do it is I speak at churches and to high schools and stuff to kids about, you know, saying no to drugs.
Right.
And about like you can look a certain way, you can live a certain life, but you don't have to do drugs or do stuff. So I like to being able to say I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And some people are like, yeah, but imagine how cool it could be if you said that you did it, but you just didn't do it again. I'm like, well, everybody can say that. That's what everybody can say. Right? I just like to be able to say that I haven't tried it. And, you know, I just want, I don't know, I want my little girls to be able to look at me and be like, my daddy's different. You know what I mean? And listen, I told my wife there's 2 times that if I was ever going to smoke weed, it'd have been then. When my bachelor trip, my stepdad went, well, not my stepdad, my father-in-law went with me, and my brother-in-law went with us on our bachelor trip. And I was like, the guys freaking went out there, and I'm saying something I ain't ever told nobody here. The guys went out there and smoked a joint without me because they were so afraid. They were like, well, Trey don't smoke, so we don't want to do this in Infinity, right? I'm like, I'm not a freaking child. I guarantee you, bro, is God is my witness. If there was ever a time I'd have broke my bond to smoke a joint, it would have been with my father-in-law at my bachelor trip, right? Like, how epic does it get than that? I would have guaranteed you I would have smoked weed on my bachelor trip with my father-in-law because I could tell that story forever. And then the second freaking time was there at the studio with church. I would have done it in a heartbeat. I'm like, man, I missed that opportunity. Like, I would have done that probably. I had probably done it then. You know what I mean? It's got to be something special if I do it, you know.
Gotta be fire as hell.
But I've got to be at the point where I'm done, you know, preaching to people about or preaching to kids about being good and don't get in trouble.
No, I can understand that. Shoot, you can smoke vicariously through me.
Yeah.
Smoking for everybody.
Hit one for me. Hit one for me.
You got it.
Yeah. So,
would you ever work with Adam Calhoun if he ever hit you up and was like, "Hey, man, let's get a song together, man. I got a song about slapping. I want you to do the hook for
$1 million, for $1 million, for $10 million. I'm telling you right now, my word as a human being, I would not do a song with Adam Calhoun.
Damn.
And let me tell you the reason why that is. I don't care what it is. It's that my integrity and my character means the world to me. It's nothing. It's not even against Adam Calhoun. I'm not even saying anything that's personally against him because I don't have nothing to say. I've never met the guy. I've never shook his hand. Could not tell you anything about him. When he loaded the picture with Katie Noel, and it made me where I wouldn't trust somebody, and if I couldn't trust somebody, I wouldn't want to do music with them. So it's that picture alone that would be $10 million. I would not do a song with him because of that picture alone, and that's it. And that's not nothing against. I don't know Katie Noel. I've never met her before. I don't know these people. I just know that I have to be able to trust you as a human being and want to do things with you because my character will roll over from your character, right? So it's a character thing. I don't think that was a character decision. Listen, here's the thing. Had he not loaded that picture with Katie Noel, and had he not, and there was talks before, like there's before all of this happened back, we're talking about a while back, long story, but there would have been talks of me and him doing a song together. So there was talks of literally from me to him possibly doing a song together. This is before all the big blow up, right?
Oh, wow.
And someone, another reaction channel put us together on a live. We got to talk, got to meet. And he was like, I would love to do a song with you. He's like, he was very complimentary. He said, you know, you're amazingly talented, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really know his catalog and know a lot about him because I don't keep up with it, right? But I knew that he was a big artist. But I'm telling you right now that there's not enough money in the world. I don't care if it will pay for my kids. I will work a different way. I will provide for my children. but there's not enough money in the world that would do it now because of a character.
Shoot, I feel you on that. And there's not many people that would say the same.
And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter. It's who I am as a human being, what I promised my grandfather, what I promised my dad, and both of them are gone. And it is who I am as a man and who I promised to be for my little girls, my wife. And even if my wife said, Trey, this is the biggest opportunity in the world, I promise you I can work extra jobs if I have to. I will work extra jobs if I have to, but I won't stoop to that level. And it's even if church ever got mad at me, it was like, I don't want nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter. It's not nothing to do with church. It has per se. It has to do with the fact that watching what he did to church takes away what I feel about him as a man.
That ass. I agree. No, I agree. I ain't with none of that nasty shit that they was doing over there.
No, man. And you know what? He can hang out with his ex friends and stuff. He can hang out with. I saw the picture of the other friends and stuff hanging out yesterday. I think he can hang out with other people. He can hang out with those kind of things. It's just those are some bro code that when those lines get crossed, and somebody may say, and if they heard this or heard that theory or whether you use it or not, someone may say, yeah, but what about the stuff that church has done to him?
Mm.
You won't find anything besides some trolling, right?
Facts. You speaking on the guy that was living with him?
Do what?
The guy that lived on his property? Or you speaking on that guy?
No, I'm saying like that could be, you know, I mean, that I get that can maybe happen, right? But I don't even like that. I don't like that at all. But I'm saying like that wouldn't be bad enough for me to say there's no amount of money. But the whole girlfriend that accused him of stuff, that's like, man, that's some deep stuff. That's like on a different level. That's like some things of like, I'll be okay. I just won't make it music kind of stuff. Like if I have to, I'll just go ahead and quit music because I'm not going to question who I am as a person.
I agree. Because that was disgusting. Even she came out and had to admit that she was lying. And then for him to use her as some kind of prop to try to take down Upchurch conveniently at this time.
That wasn't good, man. That was not a good look, bro. And I didn't like it at all. And man, I do not like that kind of stuff at all. I just get weird vibes from that kind of stuff. Not good. So yeah, to answer your question, the answer is no. And I can guarantee you that answer is no. All day.
Yeah, that's the same. I feel the same way. I think that he has a disgusting character. Maybe for me is more personal too as well, because he's tried to run up on people that I consider to be good humans in real life at Walmart. And I can't. That's something I can't get over. That's something that I can't. And I predicted that shit too. I said that was going to happen. I said it behind the scenes. I was invited by Rebel. Shout outs to Rebel man.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And let me tell you something, man. I think the world of Rebel, bro. And Rebel was sharing my music back in the day, and Ambro has shared my music so much, and they have been there, and they have been real, and they've promoted my music even when, I wasn't even helping them promote my music as much as I should. Now I've been pushing my music like hard the last 6 months, but Rebel was promoting my music back a year ago or 2 years ago even, and was pushing it for me.
He's a real man.
So yeah, he's I think the world of him, and he's like, I mean, I think he's a stellar guy. You know what I mean? Same with Ambrose. She's awesome, and I thank both of them for the support they give me. Same with Captain Kurt. He's helped me a ton with my music and trying to promote it and stuff. So
I don't think creators should be attacked, or someone should run up on them just because they've given opinions or maybe even spoke against someone's music. I thought that event was disgusting. I kind of wish I was there. I was invited, but I couldn't make it. And I said that shit was going to happen. Something told me. I was like, yo, he going to try something.
Here's the thing that I don't like. I don't like the whole fighting thing. I think it's so stupid to me because it's like, it gets to where, you're gonna say no to somebody, you know what I mean? So whoever you're wanting to fight, you clearly believe you can beat them up. You know what I mean? You clearly believe in your head that you can beat them up. So what are you going to do when you get to the point where you're not that confident, right? He's going to say no. And there's going to be somebody that comes along. So it's like, by bullying people that you think that you can beat. It's just crazy to me. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know.
That's what he does.
Crazy. I don't like it, and I'm not. It's just not my thing, man. It's like I guess I just don't carry myself like that, you know.
Not 100%. Right? Because you're an actual genuine person. You know, some people they feel like, I don't know, maybe they want to have this image of, yo, I'm tough. I say what I do in these records and I do it in real life. And it's like, nah. No, I don't think people respect that. I think the more respectable thing was what Rebel Man did, which was not do anything and just go on about his day. That was the adult thing to do. I commend that, actually.
You know, we've got I've got songs that's like, because a lot of people ask me, because I'm kind of like, I guess I'm looked at as like a nice guy, you know what I mean? Just someone that's caring, and I've got a big heart and stuff, and I was kind of raised a certain way, and not kind of, I was raised a certain way, and I have respect for everybody, and I just love people and all that kind of stuff. But they'll be like, man, how do you talk so bad in your videos? You know, the gang of some bad boys raised like me. And, you know, talking like got 9 on my hip and a 10 by my side. But the bottom line is I can be nice all day long, but the facts still are, if you mess with my family or my kids or my wife, I'm still going to be that person. You know what I mean? Like it's not a push up thing. It's just, I believe in respecting people and being nice to people first and foremost. I'm not going to try to fight nobody, because the bottom line is, for me to get hurt or for me to get my face busted up and be out of work, I need to provide for my family. So I ain't trying to fight nobody. It's that mindset is just stupid, because like if you take me out of work or you hit me in the face, you break my nose, and I'm out of work, I'm just making my family suffer. So
facts.
That thought don't even go into my head. You know what I mean? The first thing I thought of if I get mad at anybody is not, I can't wait to fight them. Just not.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Old. I'm too old. I said I'm too old.
Bro, I'm telling you now, I always say I got one left in me, but I promise you my knee's going to go and everything. I'm going to be like, I'll be over falling and farting and like just doing all kinds of things.
I've been saying for years, I got 5 left in me. I've been saying that. And I hope that I can get paid for it. I don't want to just give the 5 away for free.
Listen, if you're going to pay me for it, there's a good Lord. Like, as long as I can still feed my family, if you're going to pay me what I'd be missing, oh my God. That's like,
I'll take that.
That's a freebie all day long. But unfortunately, even the Redneck Brawl, they don't pay enough to pay what I make. So it's like,
right.
I am so sorry, because I don't want to be beat the hell up. Like I said, you got to be messing with my kids and my wife, and then I'm gonna mess you up. Yeah, but my God, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna fall apart if I go fight right now. Like, I'm gonna have to do something, because I ain't trying to be tough over here. I'm gonna fall apart. I'm barely. I have a damn Charlie horse. I've been fighting a Charlie horse for the last 30 minutes right now. I'm trying to debate about how to get downstairs and eat some pickles before I can get downstairs to eat pickles.
Oh, snap. That's hilarious.
Like, my back's hurting, my butt's hurting, my everything in the world's hurting.
That's gangster. I cannot.
I'm definitely trying to fight nobody. I'm like, it'd be, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know, but watch out what I say, but pow pow.
Or video game. That's what I usually say afterwards.
Video game. Yeah.
In a video game. Duke Nukem style.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, shoot, forget all that crap. Man.
On that type of time.
Like, last time I heard those guys talking about fighting and stuff on their live, I got sore and tired and almost hurt my back just to hear them talk about it. I was wore out. I pulled a muscle just listening to them talk about it.
That's crazy. My back hurting just listening.
I know, just talking about that crap. I think it was the time that he's talking about beating up Kurt or something to come back out. So I'm like, I'm getting wore out right now. I'm hurting. Jesus, I'm hurting right now. My back's killing me.
That's hilarious. And I don't know why he would try to beat up Kurt. He seems like a pacifist. Right?
Yeah,
someone who's not Kurt's even trying to do that. Right?
No, hell no.
So yeah, that's just
I'll be in trouble someday though. Because like stuff makes me mad. The things that start pissing me off is when people start talking about people that got kids. I'm like thinking about the whole time I was listening to that time with Kurt, as I'm thinking, man, Kurt's got a little girl. Like, he's got a daughter and everything. I'm like, hearing this guy's talking about going and beating him up, I'm like, dadgum. Like, that's the parts I hate. You know what I mean?
That shit is crazy. And
I
not
hate
to even like try to like instigate fights and all that, but my brother is someone who was just released from jail. I remember sitting him down and showing him some Adam Calhoun videos of him saying, "Oh, I would love to meet that guy." And them going just dead silence.
Yeah.
No one from that side ever even gave the invitation. They never called into my stream. I was like, that's a weird coincidence. But then someone who, is just chilling, doing reactions, y'all want to try to threaten him and try to fight him. That's just weird behavior.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I don't know. It's just guerrilla. What do they call that stuff?
He's going to say guerrilla warfare?
Yeah, like, or no, that wasn't it. Like,
guerrilla mentality?
Guerrilla mentality. You know what I mean? Like, a big silverback gorilla. I feel like he just comes in beating his chest. You know what I mean? Like, ready to take on everybody.
Ain't it a goon? Ain't that like his thing? Goon.
Yeah, and then he grabs his turd and he throws it at the fence. You know what I mean? You ever seen those videos?
Yeah.
They just grab their turd and then they beat the hell out of their chest and they throw it at the fence as hard as they can.
That's hilarious. Like, scary.
They pull it straight. They'll pull it straight from their stink wrinkle.
Nasty work. That's nasty as hell. Let me ask you too. I wanted to ask you, what's your opinions on Jelly Roll?
Bro, I don't have much opinion on Jelly Roll because this is the crazy thing ever. I don't listen to music a whole lot, like new music. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I got in the studio one day and I was singing a song that sounded like really like Jelly Roll song, right? And it said something about somebody save me from something else or something like that. And it was Mike 12 Point that was like, bro, you know that's like a Jelly Roll song, right? And bro, I'm telling you right now, he knew I was serious when I said this. I'd never heard that song, right? I know it sounds crazy, but I'd never heard the song. Yeah. Couldn't tell you anything. And I was like, I'll be damned. He pulled up and I was like, where did I must have heard it somewhere, but I'm like, I didn't even know that was one of the songs. I ain't know nothing, man. I don't know nothing about him. And we're from the same area, but couldn't tell you anything. Like I said, I'm bad when it comes to other artists because I usually don't hear nothing about artists unless they're doing something bogus, right? Because then I'll see y'all's videos the next day. You know what I mean? I'll see everybody, all the reaction channels. Oh my God, you're not going to believe what blah, blah, blah did last night. Oh my God, you're not going to believe what blah, blah, blah did. So it's like, I only hear the bad stuff really. Because I just don't have time to, focus on anything but that. It's sad to say that I'm only listening to the bad stuff, but it's like, I just open up YouTube and that's what's there. Right? It ain't got them. You ain't doing no video of Adam Calhoun planting flowers in the garden. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
So it's like if there's drama out there, I'm watching the drama. If I had to choose, I really don't want to see him planting flowers. So I'd rather see some drama. So
makes sense. Yeah. And that's honest because a lot of people will act like that's not the case. They'll be all in the comment section under every video. Oh, this is all you talk about is drama. I'm like, and this is all you watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And here's the thing, too, is like, because I try to keep it as real as possible, is that a lot of artists would be like, they know what church's standpoint is on somebody, and they'd be like, just mimicking what they hear from church, right? Well, if I don't know something about somebody, I ain't going to say nothing about it, right? So I'm not going to mimic nothing from nobody. Like, if I don't know it, I know it. I won't say it. If I know it, I'll say it.
Makes sense.
Just it. I'm going to be as true to me as possible. So, but I haven't heard anything that I will say this to clear this up. I haven't heard anything that church has talked about behind the scenes, or I haven't heard anything behind the scenes that's different than what's actually happening when it comes to the church's opinion on different artists. I've not heard anything when it comes to that I'm just like, nah, church is wrong on that. You know what I mean? Like so far, he has pegged it pretty perfect. He's been pretty spot on with a lot of his opinions on stuff. So, from what I've seen, anyway,
he real recognize real. You see the game for what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of nasty going on out here. What would you give I would like to hear your opinion or more so advice for up and coming artists that's trying to get into music. Not necessarily a particular genre, but just up and coming.
I can't say enough. If you make music, I tell people this all the time, do not sit on it. Here's the thing. If you do not have a fan base, what are you waiting for? If you do not have a fan base and you do not have followers yet, or a large amount of followers, why are you doing a countdown? Why are you writing a song in March and putting out a release date in May? Every day you wait without releasing that song, every day you are losing streams. Every day, countless important streams. And yet every day I see artists that's like, the drop is in 2 months from now. I'm like, the second I write a song, let me tell you something. Last Giddy Up, I wrote Monday morning. I released it Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I wrote it Monday morning and released it Wednesday night. The music video came out Saturday. The same week, bro. The same week. Because why would I not have released it by now? What am I waiting on? I'm not Jason Aldean. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're not famous, we're not church. If we're not famous, why are we waiting? And then the next thing is, so release your music. When you create your music, release it. Get it out there as quick as you can. Don't wait on a video because when the video comes out, you'll get a chance to promote it twice. You can promote and tell people the song's out, and then the video comes out, you get to re-promote it over again, right? The next thing is make a body of visual work with every song. I don't care. My biggest video that I've ever had on, let's say TikTok, it had 2 million views in 24 hours, and it was a $50 music video. Whoa. $50 for my baby song. And it cost me $50. That's it. And that's just the price of the gimbal. And so you have to have visuals with the song. Remember in the 80s, there was a song that came out called Video Killed the Radio Star.
Yep.
And that's very important to think about. As a visual kills the sound. Visual kills the sound. So you got to have a visual piece of art for that song for it to do anything. Anything. It won't do nothing. In fact, here I've got a spark of my career right now because I've been going through my old catalog and doing videos to my old songs. And do you know one of them, my most played song right now is Bad Little Mama? It's had more streams this month than it has the 4 years it's been out put together.
That's crazy.
All because I did one little video of me looking around at the camera. That's it.
And that boosted all the traction and attention for the song.
And then I did a remake of Lollipop. I sampled it. Hey. And Church shared it on his community. It's on his community on YouTube. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is crazy. You did this. I did that 3 years ago. No one saw it because I didn't have a video. So I just up and decided to reload the video. Do you know that video, that song got more streams that day that Church shared it than it has the entire time of it being out in 3 years total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard. So it's like it got 10,000 streams, I think, that week on Spotify. And before that, didn't have that. So now it's got way more than that. But in those 7 days, it gained more than the whole time it was out. But that's my best advice is that put a visual art with every song and release every song the second you write it. Get it out there. Because time is flying by. We're not guaranteed time, so why in the world would you... Why do artists shelf themselves? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, when you get signed, you're like, I don't like that label's going to shelf me. But I think I'll stay independent and I'll just shelf my own songs.
Crazy.
That's what happens every day. How many times do you hear people like, their release date will be 2 months away?
Not as fast.
Like, what are you talking about? Your release date 2 months away. The song's done? Yeah, but I got to build up momentum. You ain't got no followers.
Word.
What momentum? You're also the guy that's got one song and already have merch, right?
Facts.
You're living a false dream if you're over here like doing a countdown to your release in 2 months, and you're probably trying to sell merch to be able to pay for your next album. Like, it's just stupid. Put music out as quick as you can. Overflood the market.
Facts.
Overflood it. I mean, put out a song. You put out that song. Don't sit and wait on it. Go ahead and get that another song lined up. Like, go. And my last one is if you're going to spend money on anything whatsoever, spend it on mixing and mastering, making sure it's done right.
Okay.
Because I feel like that a lot of the songs that's out right now that I hear in a lot of these little reaction things are just not mixed well.
Yeah.
I don't think mixing is something that everybody should do. I think that if you can do it in your own house.
Facts.
But not everybody is good enough to do it.
Facts. If you just started, I don't think you should be putting out songs. Mix and master like you last week.
You be having guys on GarageBand that's trying to mix and master on GarageBand, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, nah,
first just put out music ASAP. Next is make music videos, even if it's cheap videos with your cell phone. Go get you a gimbal. A gimbal is $100. It's the best money you'll ever spend for your cell phone. Makes it where it stabilizes, and then make sure that you're getting your songs mixed and mastered. And honestly, mastering it can be part of. There's programs now that master great. So
I've heard about that.
Great mastering programs. I remember back in the day, bro, where even 7-8 years ago, where you had to take it to a mastering guy and have it run through mastering. Yeah. Now they don't even charge you for that crap anymore. The mixing guy usually don't, because he just runs it through his mastering program, and it sounds perfect.
Technology is crazy.
That's it. Yeah.